Did you all remember to vote for your favorite contestant? All right. Who thinks it's going to be Antoinette? How about Kaylin? And Renata? Well, we'll just have to see. All right, at this time, we would like to recognize and welcome our current Miss Indian UNM, Melody Cruz, to the stage for her final farewell.
How's everyone doing so far? You excited to hear the winner? Yeah? Me too. Okay. Let me get situated. Okay. So prior to tonight's pageant, I was worried about things like the agenda, decorations, and trying to figure out which staff is going to be in charge of what. So I kept putting off the time to actually think of what I was going to say tonight for my farewell as I give up this beautiful crown. I don't know if that's because I didn't want to think of saying goodbye, or if that's because I just had too much to say. So let me start by telling you all a little bit about my journey as Miss Indian University of New Mexico. I remember when the application opened and there were interest meetings happening. In my heart, I knew that I wanted to run, but I was a little shy about it and I kept it to myself. The last week the application was open, I attended an interest meeting, and right then I knew that, I had to run, I was going to run. So I decided to run, and I turned in my application 10 minutes before the deadline. So it was a little rushed, and I was a little hesitant about it at first. I remember talking to several people about it, and just a little scared, I guess you could say. I didn't know what to expect, just knowing that I had to fulfill such a role. But I went ahead and did it. And of course, the first thing I did after I turned in my application was post it on Facebook. So from that point on, it was go time. I first began by selling as many raffle tickets as I could. As the contestants know, that's a huge part of the judging process. It's 20%. So, I did my best to sell the raffle tickets. And last year, I remember even apologizing during my acceptance speech because I asked for so much help. I felt like a bill collector because I remembered if you said, I'll buy 5 raffle tickets from you tomorrow. You bet when tomorrow came around, I was at your door, calling you up, texting you, are you still gonna buy? So I felt like I bothered a lot of people, but I really appreciated everyone's support. The night of the pageant arrived, and I was so nervous. My mom and my grandma came early the day of to make sure I had everything. We were in my apartment making sure I had my dress straight, my moccasins tied tight enough so they wouldn't fall off when I did my performance. Just little things. I was a little nervous. I was trying to practice my introduction. I kept even saying stuff in Spanish. My grandma was like, why are you talking Spanish? I just kept throwing words in there. I was just so nervous. So it was a little nerve-wracking for me. But since day one, my mom and my grandma were my #1 supporters. The night of, when I was crowned the 2014-2015 Miss Indian University of New Mexico, I think they were just as excited as I was. In that very moment, my name was called. I had no idea how to act. In my head, I was thinking, do I clap for myself? Do I cry? Do I jump up and down? In those instances when you're crowned or, you're given an award, I know for me anyways, I get a little nervous and I'm like, oh, if I clap for myself, does it make it seem like I'm cocky or you know what I mean, overconfident? So I didn't know what to do, but the best thing I could do was just stand up here and smile. The first person I looked towards in the audience were my mom and my grandma. And, they just had the same smile as me, and they were, cheering me on. So it was a great moment for me. Like I said, I was very excited. I was pretty shocked just because, it was just all so unreal to me. But I was very happy. And, oh yeah, by the end of the night, my cheeks were so sore. But as the as the events came, it felt like it was very natural. Like the first couple of weeks, like I was just always so sore. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of smiling. I felt like, for a while it felt like they were gonna stay like that. So as I began my journey as Miss Indian UNM, I had to talk with myself, and I told myself I needed to do the best I could be. Part of this had to do with how many people I was representing. I thought a little of all of the Native girls, the little Native girls, who are completely blown away by someone who wears a crown just like myself and the royalty in the audience, We see little kids, we go to events, and they get excited. They're like, oh my gosh, let me take a picture with you. So I started thinking of that, and I started thinking of my niece Jayla in particular, and how she reacts to people like this. And I began to, take a step back and think of my childhood and what I would want someone who wears a crown like this to be. And I also thought of, the incoming freshman to UNM who doesn't have a voice yet, because that was me when I was a freshman. So, as Miss Indian University of New Mexico, I had a role to fulfill, and that was not only to represent those unheard voices, but also, the little girls running around in the surrounding communities. So I knew I had a role to fulfill, like I said, and I was ready for it. I took advantage of every opportunity that came my way. My visits ranged from visiting pre-K classrooms all the way to high school classrooms, reading books with them, talking about education, health, different things. I was asked to do multiple visits, and I enjoyed each and every one of them. I also attended pageants, student recognitions, powwows, receptions, parades, and many UNM-affiliated activities. I met so many amazing people along the way, and I got so much advice that I will forever carry with me throughout my life. I've said it before, and I say it again. I could not have done it without the support system that I had. Yes, it takes bravery to come up here and perform and talk in front of you all and to compete for a title just like this, but I seriously would not have been able to accomplish half of the things I did without the support that I had. With that said, I would like to say a little bit of my thank yous to people in the audience or to people who are not here that have made an impact on my reign. To my mom and to my dad for encouraging me every step of the way, for attending many of my events and being my drivers, my escorts, my friends, my family, of course. Whenever I was stressed, I would always call them, knowing that they would say comforting words, and I would just go right on track. I really do hope I make you guys proud. To my grandma, I can't thank you enough for everything you have done to keep me connected to my culture. I know I may not always come home, but when I do, I enjoy all of the stories of the past. Also, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to dress myself. After every event, I would make it a point to call you to tell you how it went. And the first thing you would ask is, did your moccasins come out good? And I say that and I laugh because, I remember being a little girl and getting dressed up for feast days. We'd have a little table and I would put my foot like this, and she'd be there trying to wrap my foot, and she'd get so mad if it came out like imperfect, and she'd be like hitting my leg like, put it straight, and she'd have to redo it over and over again. So I'd like to say that I feel like I've gotten pretty good at it, so thank you, Grandma. To the rest of my family for being my cheerleaders, you all were such an inspiration, and to my cousins, James and Pete, thank you for taking the time to perform with me tonight. I would also like to thank the AISS team. I've worked there for over 2 years now, and you have all become my family. And before this event, I was joking around with a couple of them saying that, I have a time slot to fill with this farewell, and I was joking with them. I was like, maybe I'll take half of the time and cry, and they just started saying like, no, don't cry. So I promise all of you guys that I'm not going to cry. Each and every one of you have been there for me since the beginning. Pam, you never let me down. You were always asking what I needed help with, and you did your best to make that happen, so thank you so much. Daniel, you did such an amazing job with my publications, my photos, and everything I carried with me throughout my reign. Andy, you have done a tremendous job in this pageant to help it all flow. Rod, thank you for always helping me update my website and make sure that everything was up to date. Janice, thank you for your words of encouragement. I know you're one of the first people I talked to when I started to think of running for Miss Indian UNM, and you really helped me realize that this was the thing I wanted to do. Katrina, my current advisor, thank you for jumping right into the role and helping me with everything. To all of the SSLs, you are all awesome, and I want to thank you for everything. I know this week has been very, very stressful, so you guys have dealt with me this week, so I thank you so much. And to Shaye, I'm not sure if she's here, but last year and this year, she donated the flowers for our contestants, so thank you as well. And to conclude, I would like to thank everyone, friends, family, faculty, staff, for attending. I look forward to the new Miss Indian UNM and her initiatives. As I started to meet all of the contestants, the first meeting just went really well. They're very outgoing, and I could tell they really had a passion to run. It's a huge deal. At first, when we were doing the interest meetings, they were kind of like how I was, not sure if they wanted to run or not sure what it entailed. And, I tried my best to be there as a mentor, and just having gone through the experience and having, I was just trying to encourage them. And they're really amazing people. They tried their best, and I'm so proud of them tonight. So I just want to say congratulations to whoever wins tonight, and thank you all for coming out.
One last time, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a huge round of applause for our outgoing Miss Indian UNM, Melody Cruz. And I know that she spoke a lot about her family, so I'd like all of our contestants and also Melody's families to either stand or raise your hand so that you can be acknowledged, because this is a lot of work, not only for the girls, but also their families. Don't be shy. This is Melody's mom down here, so thank you all for the support and the love that you give all of our contestants, and to Melody as well. It is a huge undertaking to take on something like this, and throughout the year, things get thrown at you, and you really look back on that support system and really depend on your moccasins looking good. I laughed about a lot of the stuff she was saying because my mom did a lot of the same things. So thank you again, and I also want to extend, again, a huge thank you to all of our judges who have paid attention to all of these girls and who have scored them accordingly, and who will ultimately be the decision makers as far as our new Miss Indian University of New Mexico. Let's give them a round of applause. And of course, events like these do not happen without, they say it takes a village. So thank you to the village of the staff, the volunteers, again, the families, to all the students and all the faculty who were able to take part in this to really make this, and to Melody, of course, especially because I'm telling you, she gave me a schedule, and we've been on time with everything. It's like she could predict the future. So thank you to everybody who was able to give some of their time and to help put this event on. And thank you, Melody, and thank you to everybody who was able to get in contact with me and for thinking of me and having me be a part of this event as well. All right. Katrina, did you want to come to the stage so that we can get everything underway? Okay, if we can have the contestants join us on the stage as well. Okay, so for the ladies, as I had mentioned before, they were judged in other areas prior to their competitions tonight. And we're going to go ahead and award for those, for the personal essay, the raffle ticket, and also the People's Choice Award. So up first is the Personal Essay Award. All of the contestants wrote a personal statement about why they were competing for the 2015-2016 Miss Indian UNM title and what the title means to them. They also discussed their personal motivations, goals, ambitions, and accomplishments. And lastly, they provided insight to how they maintain their cultural identity while pursuing their educational goals. Each essay was rated on how well they addressed the topic, their grammar, and keeping within the required length. And the winner of this award will receive an array of awards, a certificate and an array of awards, so we'll see once it comes out. So based on the judges' scores, the best essay goes to Renata Yazzie. Congratulations, Renata. Our next award is the Miss Philanthropy Award. And as I mentioned earlier, the ladies were required to participate in the Miss Indian UNM fundraising project. All of the contestants were asked to sell raffle tickets and to donate one or more prizes. Sales began on Wednesday, March 18th, and they had 4 weeks to sell as much as they could until April 15th. The proceeds from this fundraiser project will benefit the 2015-2016 Miss Indian UNM and will provide support for next year's pageant. The winner of this award will also receive a certificate and a gift bag containing the array of awards. And the Miss Philanthropy Award goes to Renata Yazzie. Congratulations. All right. Thirdly, and finally, as part of these awards go, all those little tickets you put in all those baskets came down to this. And in this envelope is the name of the People's Choice Award. And the People's Choice Award goes to Kaylin White. Well, congratulations, ladies, on a job well done. I'm going to give you the opportunity to, as we prepare for the crowning, if you wanted to go ahead and place your gifts maybe over to the side. And now for the moment that we've all been waiting for. The way that we will do the crowning is I will name the second runner-up, the runner-up, and that will be followed by the 2015-2016 Miss Indian UNM. Each of the contestants will receive a gift basket donated by the Diné of UNM Student Organization. Our representatives here? Thank you for your donations. And also they will receive flowers donated by Shai Lucero, Miss Indian World, 1997-1998. Okay, are you ladies ready? Okay. The first runner-up for the 2015-2016 Miss Indian UNM Pageant goes to Antoinette Mike. We said this was a pageant, not a weightlifting competition. Okay, and the two remaining ladies, are you ready for this? We can't cut to a commercial like Ryan Seacrest, so. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, your new 2015-2016 Miss Indian University of New Mexico is Renata Yazzie. All right, let's give a huge round of applause for your 2015-2016 Miss Indian UNM, Renata Yazzie. Renata, did you want to come up and share your acceptance speech?
Good evening. I want to, first of all, I would like to thank my God and my Savior, because without Him I couldn't have gotten this far. Secondly, I would like to thank my parents for preparing me for this, even though I didn't really tell them at first. But the knowledge that they have given me and the wisdom they have provided me while I was growing up was something that I relied on as I prepared for this. I would like to thank the university for putting this on and for giving me the opportunity to represent not only my tribe, my family, and my clan, but also Native America as a whole. And I would like to thank you all for coming this evening. It means a lot. Thank you.
I'd like to thank all you ladies, and Renata, I'm wishing you a wonderful year, and I know that you have a lot of great support, and look to Melody for any questions that you might have. And congratulations once again. Ladies and gentlemen. She's got to practice her wave. You're going to be waving a lot this whole year. You all are invited to the reception immediately following the program. And when you exit, please exit the auditorium and proceed to your right for some cake and some punch. And as a reminder to our contestants and our newly crowned Miss Indian UNM, we will be taking photos immediately following the program, and we're asking as a housekeeping item to keep clear of the stage until all the photos have concluded. And thank you so much for attending tonight's festivities, and again, congratulations to our new Miss Indian UNM. Good night and safe travels.